Undoubtedly, Olrox stands out as one of the ideal characters to make an appearance in Castlevania Nocturne, a sequel to the original Castlevania series, and the show for me was a perfect comeback to the Castlevania universe. They were still able to maintain the magic and the vital elements that have always made Castlevania an outstanding series. I've already covered and uploaded my review on it, so I greatly appreciate it if you check the video out and share your thoughts in the comment section. Your feedback will go a very long way for me. Alright, let's delve into the character of Olrox. As I mentioned earlier, Olrox is one of the standout figures to debut in the first season of Castlevania Nocturne. He hails from an ancient Aztec origin in the American lands. Olrox is a character who exudes strength, loyalty, love, and grace. His portrayal was so finely written and executed that it's easy to identify with his motivations and actions throughout the series, which greatly made me like the character. There are several aspects of his character that I like so much that I'll be focusing on in this video, which is his confidence, his unique personality, his looks and abilities, and his love life. I'm going to start with his confidence. In the first episode, Olrox quickly establishes his confidence and strength with just one line of dialogue.
My mom was gonna slice you in two.
In 250 years, do you know how many vampire hunters have promised to slice me in two?
This line instantly piqued my interest in his character. It's clear that he's actually not intimidated by what little Richter has got to say, but his response to that reflects his unwavering determination and serious intention. I like the fact that he opened the show with Juliet Belmont and young Richter. It was a very anticipative scene and it gave the show a more outlook for what's to come. Olrox came to avenge the death of his lover, who unfortunately was killed by Juliet Belmont. You see, Olrox is someone that sets out targets and brutally sees it to completion, which in this case his aim was to kill Julia. And did he do it? Yes, with a very captivating and impressive fight. The animators truly outdid themselves with the camera angles capturing Olrox during the fight. His bright green eyes were gleaming in the darkness and the overall swift movement between the two was enticing to watch. Olrox is a very articulative person. He did something that caught my attention. During the fight, he knew he was on the brink of losing to Julia and he immediately resorted to his final form, a giant feathered serpent, which was a great reveal for the character considering this was the first time we were seeing it, and with that form he was able to kill Juliet Belmont. I gained a deeper respect for Olrox for his decision to not harm young Richter after killing his mother. I mean, he could have easily ended Richter's life, but he didn't because that was not his goal. His sole purpose was to avenge the death of his lover by eliminating his killer. While others may decide to kill Richter out of spite or simply put wickedness or fear of maybe future consequences, that was not the case with Olrox, and he understands Richter's pain, the agony of losing someone you love and feeling utterly powerless to prevent it. It resonated with Olrox on a personal level because he had experienced similar loss before. He knew that Richter would eventually seek revenge, just as he sought vengeance for Julia. Yet, despite knowing this, to prove he's strong and fearless, he told Richter,
"Oh, I could kill you too. And I will. One day. But not tonight."
Now, mind you, he could have easily killed Richter to avoid any potential future fights with him, especially since no one else was present to witness what happened, to even wage war against him in the future. But he didn't. I mean, everything could have just ended there, you know? And I respect the character so much for that alone, because that level of confidence is insane. Another aspect I greatly admire about Olrox is his looks. He's a tall, dark-skinned vampire with sharp pointed fangs and ears. His green eyes were unique and vicious. His hairstyle being half-braid really added to his captivating allure. His purple coat is a perfect choice because his green eyes and the purple matches very well, which creates a visually appealing contrast. Aside from the normal expected vampire abilities like speed and immortality, or should I say an exceptionally long lifespan, Olrox possesses a range of other remarkable abilities. This includes the ability to generate powerful lightning blasts that takes the form of skulls, being able to morph into this giant serpent, and being able to travel in a mist-like form. Personally, this is my Olrox best ability, guys. If I have such powers, only God knows what I'll do with it because there are so many potentials to it. Olrox can literally infiltrate any location at any time without stress, and I like how he flexes the ability. Luckily for him, this ability saved him from Julia. If you remember, Julia had him cornered and was already roasting him until he turned to smoke and was able to transform into the giant serpent to finish her off. The powers were really unique, and above all, I like how Olrox carried and executed his abilities, like how he hovers majestically, how he was able to pick up Mizrak before his was cooked. Like, that was so nice. And how he uses it to spy and get valuable information. Best believe I'd flex the abilities like that if I got them as well. Like, he really make good use of his abilities. His personalities is another aspect of Olrox that I find compelling. Olrox is the man of his words. He always does what's best for him. Sometimes that might mean good and sometimes evil. He has this high level of self-respect that added to his charm. Take for example how he simply declines Vaublanc's welcome when he entered France for the first time.
Good of you to meet me, Vaublanc, but I can make my own way. Still, you can tell your Messiah I'm here.
Instead, he simply opted to stay in an inn. Olrox is not someone that rides a wave or sheepishly follows the crowd, and in this case, I mean his refusal to join the other vampires worshipping Elizabeth. While others may do that, Olrox is someone that wants to know the reason behind everything. He wanted to know the reason why Elizabeth wanted the power to rule so bad, and if we're being honest, no tangible good reason, if not just for fame, greed, and power. He didn't find any good reason to follow Elizabeth, and he recalled when he was still a human how Elizabeth was killing his people in millions, so that still holds to why he doesn't regard Elizabeth. Olrox is someone who values information and conducts thorough research in whatever he's doing. Upon his arrival in France, his initial approach was to quietly observe all that was happening, and he was able to do that in a more discreet way with his mislike abilities. Obviously, his first notable discovery was unraveling what the Marquis was doing with the bodies of their victim, and I liked how he expressed his satisfaction upon finding out they used them to create night creatures. It was enticing.
Well, well. Glory be to God.
Olrox also managed to spot the reasons behind the Abbot's alliance with these activities through Mizrak, and in the most surprising way ever. Like, I'll still get to it. Olrox is someone that needs to see to believe. He's a man that strongly knows what he believes in. He doesn't get easily convinced. He's able to notice fake people among the crowd, and in that regard, he noticed that the Marquis is an opportunist, and therefore he doesn't respect him.
This one? He was just an opportunist.
This is insane to me, considering he hasn't really had any relationship with the Marquis before. The best place Olrox showcased his intelligence in full force was during his conversation with Drauta. The whole conversation was funny to me because Drauta couldn't get him to see any good reason in what she said. Olrox effectively countered every point Drauta made, leaving her at a loss.
Imagine total freedom, never shrinking from light.
I don't waste my time imagining things that will never be.
But
You see, people like Olrox can both be the best and the worst to deal with, because once they believe in something, they must see it to completion. Even if it's bad, they don't care until it's done, and they strictly do what's in their mind. Take for example, killing Julia. He believed in revenge and swore to kill Julia no matter what the circumstance is. What's really amusing during the conversation is how Drauta, in all her power and might, tried to convince Olrox to see reasons with her, only for him to effortlessly dismiss her. Like, that was so funny.
will you be next?
I've never been a believer of any kind. Maybe I need to see to believe.
That's a man with a great experience in life, so you can't just convince him like that. The whole conversation was laughable because Drauta left shrugged and disappointed, realizing her efforts were as futile as trying to melt stone with water. Among all these great qualities, Olrox did not live out his love life. He's someone that loves deep when he's in love with someone. He had only one lover, a Mohican from a little town in Massachusetts, someone according to him burned with passion about how people can win freedom, someone that believed and fought with the revolutionaries, and also at some point tried to make him to see reasons with the revolutionaries. Due to Olrox's deep love for his said lover, he turned him into a vampire to be able to be with him forever. Now, for me, that's a great way to show love for someone you like, and can be the worst thing you can do for someone you love. But we didn't get any gist of if he was in support or not. For me, this shows loyalty and the unique ways vampires express love and care, because at the end of the day, vampires kill for a living, so dedicating a kill to someone who has robbed you of the love of your life without the intention of consuming their blood is just intentional and remarkable to me. He also expressed his love for Mizrak when he saved him from almost being cooked by Elizabeth. That shows he really liked Mizrak and was not just using him even after saying he doesn't love him. An external factor that I want to add on why I like Olrox is throughout the season there weren't any senseless killing he indulged in, if not for feeding to survive, and on top of that he chose to feed on the wealthy, maybe because of their oppression to the poor. I'm not sure, it wasn't specified, but that was notable, and even Drauta remarked that and corrected him. Overall, I love how Olrox is an articulative, loyal, confident and a graceful man. I think he's one of the best, if not the best character from season 1 of Castlevania Nocturne. If you made it to this level of the video, you are the real MVP. Please like this video, it will go a long way for me. Let me know what you think about this video down in the comments. I have more similar videos like this coming, but I want to see how this one performs to decide. I will see you guys in my next video. I'm out of here.